Captain EO escapes by hijacking a roadie's van, where the security guards decide to follow him and apparently see how fast he's going. Okay. But their plan is thwarted by an incredibly persistent truck driver. I know that truckers can be in a hurry sometimes, but they usually stop for impeding car crashes. While Captain EO escapes, it seems the guards manage to recover from being compacted by a fucking 18-wheeler. How the fuck did they manage to do that? Oh, of course. They're T-800s. That makes sense.
I'm the party pooper.
Picking up the pieces, literally, the Terminators go home and get fixed up. But wait! What happened to Stella? Well, she's got to flaunt her celebrity status somehow by going to fashion shows, attending snooty parties, and accepting awards. But before she can go to the award ceremony, she's got to get changed into something. After she changes, in front of Beethoven, I can imagine, he leaves, driving a business car that reads Darkwood Manor. You know, Darkwood Manor? Right next to Evil Lane. You gotta make a left at Baby Rapist Avenue. Now it's time for the record awards, where nobody questions why she's not smiling or where any of the other band members are. Smart thinking, fans! Who are the nominees for the one award in this award show? The Black Crowes parody, the Generic Soul Band. Get it? And of course, the Crescendos. If you don't see who's going to win already, you don't deserve to see who does. The only thing really important in this scene is that Beryl shows up, uses the Men in Black neuralizer on her, and leads her to a taxi that, of course, Octave is driving. Don't you just love racism? So now that they're free, what are they going to do now? Oh no. Really? Does this movie really need a sex scene? No, it turns out that Captain EO has become the victim of a golden shower.
Hello everyone, it's Schlemaze here again. We have just received some tragic news. Our interplanetary hero, Shep, has in fact been pissed on. Thankfully, if we pool in our efforts together, we can help this brave soul keep on living. He deserves all the help he can get. So keep those donations coming, people. Our thoughts and prayers go back to his family. We will now return you to your regularly scheduled commercial, already in progress.
Dang, god damn it. I'm sorry about that. So it turns out he's dying, I guess. Whatever. Everybody's taking it pretty harshly, even though they've only known the guy for about 15 minutes. Using his remaining energy, he basically shows Stella his incredibly creepy and, well, let's face it, frightening fantasy. And just like that, Captain EO dies. Farewell, brave soldier. You died as you lived. A complete fuck-up. So once Stella opens her eyes, she has the Triforce of Courage in her hands, for some reason, which shows them as their normal selves, which seems to shock them for some reason. Since the mind control trip was destroyed, shouldn't they know that they're blue aliens? And with that, they drive off into the countryside. I think we're in Holland, but whatever. So they keep driving till they find a really big tree. You know those tourist traps are never what they claim to be on the billboards. They decide it's a good time to bury Captain EO when, all of a sudden, his corpse turns into fireflies. And then into Dr. Manhattan's gay brother. Well, that was stupid. What's next? Stella thinks it's a good time to figure out how to confront their abductor and put a stop to his madness, which they kinda did already. After thinking about it, they go ahead and do it anyway, and go into Castlevania. Yes, I'm serious. They try to get in when, all of a sudden... Of course! Seriously, this shit is just turning into a video game. While they wander around looking for doors that are unlocked, they find an entrance to the Batcave. Well, it's actually a library, but the one book in here that stands out the most is called Virtus Quo, or as I'd like to call it, incriminating evidence. It's basically an instruction book on Beethoven's master scheme and who he is. He got hit with a meteor that killed his family and made him immortal, and through a wooden telescope, he discovered an alternate universe, where our blue protagonist came from, along with our other aliens, all conveniently humanoid. So how did he make his evil spaceship in the 15th century? How was he never caught for abducting famous music icons? It's not like that's important. So he managed the minds of a lot of musical parodies, like Louis Armstrong parody, Ella Fitzgerald parody, and even Slash parody and Kurt Cobain parody. What's the point of all this shit, you may ask? Well, to earn gold records, of course. And once you have 5,555 gold records, you can rule the world, or at least wiggle your fingers around the globe with lens flare. Now I have to stop you here for a second. How is it possible to get a gold record in an age where wood, straw, and a horse was your freight company? And even if they could, they wouldn't, since the distribution of gold record awards began in 1942, making only 59 gold records in existence since the time this movie was made. You'd have to be incredibly patient to wait 5,496 years, not to mention you do this yearly, and nobody has noticed that all bands have become has-beens or fucking die within 1 year. Your plan is ridiculously retarded. You should have been like Hitler and do the things the old-fashioned way. I know Daft Punk fans love this movie, but they only love it because of the music. Visuals may be nice, but if you're that easily distracted by shiny colors, they should have just made the movie Jingling Keys with Daft Punk music playing over it. It would have been a lot cheaper. Okay, rant over. Back to the shit in the music box. So because they decided to sit down and read a book instead of actually investigating, they were easily discovered by the guards and brought to the basement, most likely to be sacrificed. Oh, and I forgot. The whole ritual of donating golden records is done via the Thuggee cult from Indiana Jones.
Galima! Galima!
Beethoven grabs Stella and fits her into the adult Powerpuff Girl-sized hole on what can only be described as a record spire. Beethoven starts reciting from whatever to get shit done, while the remaining band members look on in horror. But the band members break free and tackle Beethoven, making him drop the record. Deciding that he can't wait another year, he dives in after it, falling to his death. Oh, and for an unexplained reason I can't find a joke for, the followers fall in after him. Oh, and the castle explodes. So now that that's done with, you think the movie's over, right? Wrong! Even though they're aliens and they were more or less brainwashed, they still have to get their memory discs, which contain their memories. Because when you brainwash people and kill them, you always need a backup file of their memories. So who's gonna have to break in and get them back? Well, Octave, of course! Don't you just love racism?